Hi, this is Esther Kane with SeniorSafetyAdvice.com. Hope this video is finding you healthy and safe these days. If you and your parents have decided that it would work out well for everyone if they moved in with you, then this video is for you. We're going to go over a bit of a checklist and along with some tips on how to make that process as smooth as possible for everyone. Just FYI, there will be notes included in the description below of this video, as well as links to some articles that may help you that are going to go into more detail, because honestly, if I went into complete detail on this topic, I'd be here 5 hours, and I know you don't want to listen to me for 5 hours. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so that you can get updates when we put out a new video. All right. I'm going to go over 9 main areas that you should be aware of if your parents are moving in with you. Some of them you may have already thought about, discussed with your parents, but it's always good to go through a thorough checklist. 1, making room for them. Now, this is not just about giving them a bedroom or converting the basement or garage into an apartment for them. It's about the actual living space and how it's constructed to meet their needs. It's important that the space be uncluttered to help avoid, tripping, and to help accommodate not only their furniture, but any possible future need of wheelchair, walkers, whatever. You want to make sure that the space accommodates their favorite furniture, because after all, everybody wants to feel at home no matter where they are. And that the space that they're in is easy to use. And what I mean by that is that it's easy to get to the remote control. It's easy to get to their magazines or books or puzzles or, model trains or knitting tools, whatever it is that they are doing to keep themselves active, that it's easy to get to, because having to rummage through things, move things about just to get to those things, could lead to an unsafe situation. So you want to make sure that there's room for everything, a place for everything, and everything in its place is the old adage, right? And also think about, as your parents grow older, they may end up needing some equipment that they don't currently have. My own mother ended up needing oxygen later on in her life, and her living room was not situated well for that oxygen tank. So it was a huge hassle to get that thing around this massive coffee table that she had that we honestly could not get her to give up. It just ended up being an unnecessary safety hazard. So think about those kinds of things. Addressing mobility issues. Are there stairs involved in getting in and out of the house, by the front door, the side door, the garage? Can they maneuver those stairs? If they can maneuver them now, they may not be able to do that later. We don't know. Are there stairs inside that they're going to have to use? Are they going to be living upstairs or downstairs? Can any of the stairs be modified with stair treads, non-slip paint, double railings? If you live in the northern area where there's a lot of snow and ice during the winter, you want to make sure that those stairs are safe if they're going to be walking in and out of the house. Extra safe. If ramps are needed, is there room for them to be installed? Can you put in a stair lift? Is there room for that? Is there the money for that? What if you absolutely end up needing to move them from an upstairs or downstairs area and they have to live in the main area? Is there a room in there somewhere to install, to have, make a bedroom? Is there a bathroom down there? Is there a shower there? Can they use that? Can you bring in a portable shower? You want to think about the kind of space that you'll be needing for any of those things if they're needed. Not that you have to run out and buy them now and have them, but you want to think about, what if I do need it? Can I move those 2 recliners out of the way so that I can put a portable shower in that corner? Things like that. All right. Access into areas throughout the house, number 3. Are the doorways wide enough to accommodate a wheelchair or walker? 32 inches is the minimum width of doorways for wheelchairs, 36 inches for walkers, mostly because hands are out. Now, there are people who are very large, so you may need larger walkers, and also there are very small people. You don't have to do anything at all. And yes, it's true, you can walk sideways through a doorway with a walker. Most people can do that, but it's not always very easy to shuffle sideways for seniors, especially when they're maneuvering a walker. And worse if they have a cognitive decline issue, because learning a new tactic or a new method of doing something is one of the most difficult things for anyone with dementia or Alzheimer's. Is there a walk-in shower for them? If you have a walk-in shower but there's a lip there, I would strongly recommend to get that lip taken off so that it's a flat area they can just walk in. Is the walk-in area into the shower wide enough for them to go in? Can you put in grab bars? Is it big enough, for a shower chair? All of that. Can they get into the dining room table or the kitchen table without having to squeeze through, between the china cabinet and the table itself? Can they get in and out of the porch or patio easily and safely? Is there a backyard that's safe for them, that the ground is level enough that they can walk out there without tripping and falling or hurting themselves in any way? You want to look at all those areas to see how you can make them safe. I would recommend, if possible, to put grab bars as many places as you can, as is needed. Grab bars don't always have to be attached to the wall. There are vertical grab bars. It's like a vertical pole with a grab bar that can fasten to the ceiling and to the ground. So consider those. Again, there are going to be links to articles with all those kinds of tools down below. Okay, number 4, addressing the issues of kitchens and bedrooms and bathrooms, which are usually the areas where accidents tend to occur. Tend to mostly occur. All right, there's a lot that can be done in kitchens and bedrooms and bathrooms, and I can talk a lot about that, but to keep this a little shorter, I'm just going to go over some of the main points. So the main issues to address in the kitchen are that many kitchen dinettes have chairs with casters on them. I would recommend to remove those, either remove the casters or replace the chairs entirely, because it's just too easy to fall from a chair that is movable like that. If your parents are going to help you with the cooking, make it easy for them by having appliances that they use in a safe and easy place for them to get to. I'd recommend an automatic shut-off device for the stove in case they forget to leave it on. Lights everywhere. We all tend to forget, and as we grow older, we don't even realize, because it's so gradual, how low our vision has become. So the brighter the better. The can lights in the ceilings are the best, but if you can't afford that, do as much as you possibly can to get as much light everywhere throughout the house, but especially the kitchen. Make sure your parents, especially your mothers, elderly mothers, don't wear dangling jewelry or long loose sleeves or scarves or shawls while they're cooking, because if any of that gets catches on fire or gets into the grease or the soup and they back up, to get that away and they fall, anything can possibly happen. So if they're going to help you in the kitchen, the rule is they have to dress appropriately. Okay, the main issues to address in the bedroom are: make sure that the bed is the proper height, which means that they can easily get off of it and onto it. It's going to be different for every person. As we all get older, we're all going to get a bit shorter. So, the bed height when you're 50 is going to be a lot different than the bed height when you're 80. So are they going to need bed rails? I know my mom-in-law is 98 and she uses a very small bed rail to help her just to get up and swing her legs over to the side of the bed. Can your bed accommodate that, or whatever bed they're going to be using? If not, you may have to get a different kind of bed. If they had a history of falling out of bed, you're going to be using or should be using bolsters or wedges or full-length railings sometimes, although if your parents have any cognitive decline, I don't tend to not recommend full-length railings just because of dementia or Alzheimer's. They can easily get caught on those railings and hurt themselves. If I would recommend a motion mat if they do have dementia or Alzheimer's. That way that motion mat will alert you when they do step onto it, and it means that they're up and off the bed. And if it's appropriate, maybe a baby monitor may be all that you need. The monitoring devices and those safety devices are all going to depend on what your parent's condition is physically and mentally. And that, of course, may change as the years go by. The main issues to address in the bathroom are: can they get on and off the toilet safely? Can you put grab bars around the toilet, or can you just install a toilet seat with grab bars? If not, maybe you can just use the vertical grab bar pole. Is the sink too high or too low for them? You may have to change that. Can they get in and out of the shower safely, as I mentioned earlier? If there's a lip, I would recommend to remove that. Can you put a seat in there? Is there enough room to put a seat in there? Or maybe it's not a shower at all. It's a combination bathtub and shower. Can you put the shower bench in there? Because the shower bench tends to stick outside of the bathtub to make it easier to sit on it and swing your legs over, then those legs that are sticking out of the bathtub, is there enough room between those legs and the sink or the toilet or the wall that they can get by and not stub their toe and injure themselves on that? Is there somewhere that they can safely reach for things in the shower? You don't ideally want them to be putting their shampoo and conditioners and soap and whatever on the floor. You want it to be at a level that's easy for them and wide enough for them so that as they're putting things there, it's not knocking other things out. So you want to have space for them to make it easy, and a handheld shower head, of course. Again, there's going to be articles below on detailing on all of that stuff. I could go on for a long time about the bathroom. All right, number 5. Are pets involved? Are pets in the household? Do your parents have a pet or two that they're bringing? Do you have a pet? Do they all get along? If you have a large pet and that pet tends to jump on people, that's not going to be safe for your parents. So you're going to have to get some training for that dog so that he doesn't do that. Do you have small pets like cats or dogs that can easily get underfoot and possibly cause your parent to fall? I remember years ago I had a patient who moved in with her daughter who happened to have a parrot. The parrot had free reign of the house for most of the time, and my patient was walking down the hallway in the house and the parrot flew by, startled her, and she fell. It being South Florida, where everything there is concrete, everything. The floors were all concrete tile. She fell, broke a hip, and for years later, she never quite completely recovered. I know because I treated her in the hospital, and a few years later, I treated her at home. And she never quite became 100% independent again, but she needed to use a walker from then on, and all because of the parrot. It's not the parrot's fault, of course, but you want to try to minimize those kinds of incidences happening. You can only do your best. All right, can your parents be left alone? If your parents are moving in with you because they basically cannot be left alone, then you'll need to try to come up with a plan so that you're not always the one having to be there with them 24/7. So that means recruiting others to help you, others in the family, be it people living in the household or others, friends, people in your church or clubs, whatever. Use as many people as you can, have backups, because it's important that you not be the only person responsible for watching over your parent 24/7. If it doesn't mean that your parent needs someone there 24/7 in front of them, then know that there are lots of electronic monitoring devices that you can use if you want to still keep an eye on them. I mean, everything from Amazon's Echo Show to Blu-ram's Home Pro security camera, TrueSense, baby monitors, motion detectors, door sensors, lots of things. And again, there'll be a link to an article we did below on how to monitor your parents from afar, so you can get some information on those specific products. But there's a lot of great things out there that you can use these days, which is amazing. All right, number 7, chores for the family unit. If your parents can contribute to the household, I'd strongly recommend that you speak with them about that beforehand. I mean, maybe your father can help with the yard or handyman issues. Your mother can help with laundry or cooking or cleaning, you know, whatever it is. I just personally believe that it's very important for every member of the family to contribute what they can to the family unit. I mean, after all, you're a team working to make the household a happy and healthy place. So including them in that team will help to keep them happy, healthy, and feel included in part of your new family group. Number 8, keeping your parents active. If your parents are already enjoying a hobby or having friends over or whatever, it's important to keep that going as much as you possibly can. So you want to think about the space in your home if it can accommodate that. If your parents are still driving and doing so safely, then you need the space, of course, for their vehicle and a safe way for them to get in and out of the driveway, in and out of the garage, etc. But please do consider that if your parents are are unsafe to drive or are not driving anymore, then think about, are you going to be driving them everywhere? Can you recruit others to help you, or will you be using some kind of transport services? It would not hurt to have a list of other possibilities that can help you with that issue if it's needed. All right, last but not least, number 9, caring for the caregiver. Many adult children who have their parents move in with them, or they move in with their parents, or become the caregivers for their parents, tend to, for the most part, forget about themselves and their own families and devote entirely to their parent. It's very common. I saw it thousands of times as an occupational therapist. I still read about it in caregiver support groups and Facebook groups for caregivers, and the issue is still continuing. It's just a very common and very easy trap to fall into, but it is a huge mistake and easily and often leads to burnout and resentment and anger and honestly a very unhealthy lifestyle, not only for the family, the caregivers, but also for the elderly parents as well. So please, again, reach out for help. Make sure you have a good support network, because caregiving for an elderly person cannot be done alone. So don't assume that you have to do that alone. All right, I hope this video was helpful for you. Please feel free to give us comments and questions. We answer every comment and question that we get. If you have ideas for other videos that you would like to see, let us know. We'll be happy to consider it and create a video for you on that. And who knows, maybe even an article with more information. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified of our new videos, and I will see you next time. Thank you.